Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This video has been long awaited. I know it took me a while to film this, so I apologize for the delay and thank you for your patience. Today's video is going to be my YouTube Q&A. I posted on the community page of my channel a few weeks ago asking you guys if you wanted me to do a video all about YouTube, everything, the logistics behind having a channel, how to get paid, how sponsorships work, how to start a channel, what I do to edit, literally everything. So I got so many questions. This might be a long video. It might not be that organized. I'm just gonna go in the order of the questions that I got, and I'm gonna kind of combine questions because I kind of got a lot of repetitive questions or a lot of commonly asked questions. So I apologize if this is really long or if I'm talking too much or if I'm bouncing all over the place. I'm gonna try to make this as organized as possible. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea or wine, whatever floats your boat, and enjoy the video. Let's get right into this. Before I get into the questions, super quick background about my channel and my YouTube journey. I have been on YouTube for 2 years now. I think my 2-year mark was on September 28th, which was 2 days ago. I posted my first video September 28th, 2018, and since then I've gotten almost 100k subscribers. Right now I have 99.9k subscribers, which is crazy to me. Like, that's another topic I'll get into in another video. Quick thank you to all you guys that are subscribed to me. And I also made a video at my 1-year mark about how I got 50k subscribers in a year. So I got about 50k each year. In that video, I talked a lot about what I'm gonna talk about in this video. So for more context and details, you can go to that video. I'll link it below and above. So now let's get into these questions. So how to grow your audience, how to grow your subscribers and views in the very beginning. So whether you have not started your channel yet, you are looking to do it, but you're kind of hesitant because you don't know how to get those views, you don't know how many you'll get, or whether you have a channel right now and you're just looking for ways to get more viewers and more subscribers, this is kind of what I did in the beginning. So a few tips, I think 3 main tips. The first one is to be super consistent, especially in the beginning. You have to post at least once a week. Try to post even 2 or 3 times a week. Just staying consistent is what is going to get you viewership, because the more you post, the more your videos will likely to be out there in the YouTube hemisphere, and you know, if someone finds your video, they'll find your channel and they'll see you have a lot of great content. I mentioned this in my 50k video, but you really got to set your videos up nicely to get those views, and that means have a good thumbnail, have a thumbnail that is appealing, that is clear. You have to use very crystal clear, good quality images, make it look neat and organized, not too many crazy fonts. I mean, if that's your thing, then that's really cool, but it has to be very easy on the eyes, not something that's like too much, too crazy. What I started doing recently with my thumbnails is having very clear quality photos. I just take these photos on my iPhone, and I usually have either 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 different photos, or I have like 2 photos like right next to each other. It makes it look clear. It also gives viewers a good idea of what the video is going to be about. It's almost like a little preview, especially if you have the 4 different photos. It'll just give, you know, viewers an idea of like, oh, okay, so she's gonna eat in this video, she's gonna go shopping in this video. That's usually what I like to do to get people to get interested in the video. The title is also very important. You want it to grab the viewer's attention, kind of like wow them, but you don't want it to be clickbait because people do not like clickbait. You want it to be super relevant, super just eye-catching. The title and the thumbnail are just so important, so make sure that those 2 things are like a wow factor. And then in terms of description and your keywords, those 2 are extremely important, especially the keywords. You want those 3 categories, the title, the description, and the keywords, to all be consistent. So let's say you're doing a video on best dog food. I'm pretty sure I used this example before, but you want the titles to be like the best food for your new puppy. You want the description to be like, these are the best foods for my new puppy. In the keyword section, you want to write best foods for my new puppy. It has to be consistent, because if those 3 are consistent, then that's gonna make it show up more in the search bars on YouTube and also at a higher ranking. You know how when you search for something on YouTube, you get like different results? So if your SEO, like in the back end of your studio when you're uploading a video, if that's all consistent to what the viewer is searching for, your video will be up higher on the list. It's also good from a Google SEO standpoint, because for me personally, when I look at the analytics at the back of my channel, most people come from Google. They're searching for something like what I eat in a day, or healthy foods to eat in a day, or how to create a DIY vanity mirror, a video I did 2 years ago. If people are searching for that on Google, like videos will come up and then they'll find that and they'll come from Google. You have to have the back end description details, keywords, that has to be consistent and has to be a full written out paragraph or not paragraph, like phrase, not just like a one worded thing, because people will come from Google, come from YouTube. Like that's how they'll find your videos, is by searching for it. So I go more into detail on this in my 50K video if you want to check that out, but I think I explained that pretty well. I don't want to talk about it too much, but yeah, those are the basics you need to know. And that's pretty much how I grew my viewers in the beginning, is just being very consistent. Oh, another thing is you need to make videos that are very relevant, topics that are interesting to a wide range of people, and like a very commonly searched for topic. So for example, my third video I ever posted on my channel was how I lost 50 pounds in 5 months. And that video today I think has 3.5 million views. That is my most viewed video. And that's because losing weight is a thing everyone wants to do. It's a very common universal thing. Maybe not universal, but definitely in the United States, people want to lose weight. It's something that people search for a lot. People want answers to, people need help with that type of thing. So content that is useful to people, resourceful for people, that gives people tips. Kind of like this video. Like this video is giving people tips, and people need tips and advice and help. That topic I knew was gonna get a lot of traction because I know people wanna lose weight. So I made that my third video because I was like, that's a good idea. People wanna know about that. I think this will get a lot of views. And it did. Trying to come up with different topics that will reach a wide range of people, all genders, all ages. Try to do that in the very beginning. So if you have a weight loss story, you can definitely share that. If you have tips or a really cool DIY project, that's also very valuable. People come to YouTube and to Google to search for information that they need. And then later, as you get more on into your YouTube journey, if you know, having been on YouTube for a couple years or so, then you can start posting more personal things to you, because as people go on and watch your videos more, they're going to be more relatable to you. But in the very beginning, when you don't really have a huge following yet, you need to make videos that are resourceful and relevant to people. That might not be what you like at the time, but just to get started, you got to build that following, and you got to build trust with people, and you got to be that person that's like, oh, this person knows what they're talking about, and they're making, you know, a very helpful video for me. I want to subscribe to them. So that's kind of the thought process that people have. And I've read so many articles about this, about why do people search for different YouTube topics, like what topics are relevant, what topic. So I did a lot of research, and I think that'll be very valuable to do a lot of research, especially if you're first starting out. If you're looking to get more views and more subscribers, research what is the thought process of the audience. And I think, you know, I have a degree in communications with a focus in marketing, so I feel like that really helped me understand that process. So maybe taking like an online course for free in marketing or something like that to understand the consumer, because YouTube is really like a big marketing tactic. Having a YouTube channel is like you're marketing yourself, you're marketing your life and everything you share. So if you understand the consumer's mind, you're gonna help relate to them a little bit more. So my biggest thing was I put myself in the viewer's shoes. You guys are the viewers / consumer, like in the marketing world. So I put myself in the viewer's shoe, and I thought, what videos do I like to watch? So I like to watch day in the life videos. I like to watch lifestyle, like eating videos, cooking recipes. And so that's what I try to do in my channel too, because I love watching that. I love doing all that stuff. Okay, that's a long tangent, but basically I came up with a plan before I started my channel. I kind of thought of ideas for content. So that weight loss video that I made, I had that planned for like a month before I posted my first video, and like the different vlogs. Anto and I went on a trip to Dallas. That was my very second video. I planned that like a month in advance too. So having like a queue of ideas, I always have at least 3 to 4 ideas in my head, like in advance. And you can organize that any way you want. You can write it in your planner, which is what I do. You can organize it on a Google Doc or a Google Sheet. You can organize it what best fits you, and I can make a separate video on how I organize my YouTube videos, but I basically just use my planner and I separate it into categories of YouTube, Instagram, sponsorships, and I plan my weekly when I'm gonna edit, when I'm gonna film, when I'm gonna post. Anyway, I might have gone off topic. That's pretty much the main things I was concerned about when I first started my channel and what helped me to grow viewers and subscribers. The next most commonly asked question or questions is about sponsorships and brand deals. So how I get brand sponsorships. For the most part, brands will reach out to me via email. They'll find my YouTube channel and they'll be like, hey, like saw your video, Amazon favorites, and thought you might be interested in doing this collaboration, something like that. It's a lot of back and forth, and we kind of collaborate via email. I don't really hop on the call with brands a lot. Just for some reason, we just do it via email and it works out just fine. But typically, once we agree to a brand collaboration, they'll send over a contract. I'll read it all. I'll read all the guidelines. There's like a lot of rules of what you can't say, what you can say. Usually it's just like don't mention competitors, and you got to hit all these talking points. And then I'll sign the contract, they'll countersign, and then I'll, you know, make the video. They'll set a submission date, so I have to submit a video by a certain date, and then they have to look at it, they have to approve it, or a lot of the times they'll come back to me and say, hey, can you mention this point, or can you insert a screenshot of this? So a lot of the times I have to, after I submit a video, edit it completely and upload it, submit it, I'll have to go back and edit it and re-upload it, resubmit it, and then usually they'll approve it after the second time. And in terms of how someone asked, how do I determine what my rates are? So I did a lot of research on this too, because, you know, I didn't really know how much I should charge. I didn't want to charge too much so that they're like, never mind, we don't want to work with you. But I also didn't want to charge too little, because doing a sponsorship is a lot of work. Like I said, sometimes you have to go back and forth, you have to re-edit, re-upload, and, you know, memorizing all these talking points is a lot of work. So, you know, I don't want to be charging too little. But basically, after doing research, I found a couple ways to do it. So this one website said that it just depends on how many subscribers you have. So if you have between 50 and 100K subscribers, which is what I have, you can charge anywhere between 500 to 1,000 per video, which is usually what I charge for my videos. You could also determine your CPM, which is cost per 1,000 impressions. So that means for every 1,000 views you get on a video, you can charge a certain amount. So this article I read here says you can charge $20 to $30 per 1,000 views. Let's do the math. If you have 5,000 views on a video and you charge $20 per CPM per 1,000 views, that's $1,000 for a video. So charging for every 1,000 views is another way to do it, but I usually just do between this recommended average between 500 to 1,000. And the more subscribers you get, the more you can increase your rates. And another good way that I present all of this to different brands is by having a media kit. So I recently created my own media kit, and what I did was I downloaded a template on Etsy. Etsy is an amazing place to get templates, whether you want to create a media kit, a resume. My professional resume for when I apply to jobs is from Etsy, or cover letters, or even like templates to use on your Instagram story or on your Instagram feed. You can find anything on Etsy. So I'll link some examples below, and I'll also insert a screenshot of what my media kit looks like. But basically it includes information about my channel, about who I am, what content I make. I included some analytics on how many impressions and views I get each month, and also the demographics. All brands, for the most part, will ask your demographic information. They'll ask about the age range, like what is the biggest age group that watches your videos, also gender, and also location, like which country you get the most views from. And then I also have included rates and the different services that I offer. So right now I do collaborations for either a dedicated YouTube video, which means that the whole entire video that I'm doing is dedicated to this one brand and service, or a YouTube integration, which is just a mention of a brand or service, and that's usually about like a 1 to 3 minute mention where I just talk about it a little bit and show it a little bit, and then I just proceed with the rest of the video about talking about other things. So those are the two main sponsorships for YouTube. And then I also have like Instagram sponsorships sometimes, but I do most of my sponsorships on YouTube because that's my main platform. Another question is, how did you start getting brand sponsorships? So like I mentioned, most brands will reach out to me via email. That's kind of how it started. I never reached out to anyone in the beginning, but I think towards maybe a few months later, when maybe around like 20 to 25,000 subscribers, I started getting emails from brands. But also I did some pitching. You can definitely pitch to different brands. I think they're very open to that, and I did a lot of research for how to properly do that. And it also helps that I have a background in PR, so I've done pitching myself for like clients. But you know, there's a lot of articles out there, a lot of tutorials, a lot of like, you know, how-tos to do that. So I'll try to find some of those and link those below. But yeah, I basically pitched to some of these brands, but for the most part, they reached out to me personally. So it also helps to put your contact information in your About Me section on everywhere, on your socials and on YouTube. And then another question I got was, how do you know if the brand sponsorships are legit, if these companies are legitimate? So I do a couple things when I get an email from a brand. I do my research. So before I reply, I will look at their website, I will search around and look at the products, look at the reviews of the products, look at their About Me section. Definitely, I want to know who they are and what they provide, what they do, and whether that fits my brand and my channel. And then I'll also look at their socials. So I will look at their Instagram first, because I think Instagram is like the biggest social for most companies and most people. I'll look at a couple of factors. I'll see how many followers they have. Not that that's the most important. If they don't have that many followers, that's totally fine. But you know, the more followers a company has, the more reputable it is. But like I said, that's not most important. I'll also look at like the type of content they're putting out, if it looks like professional content, and then also I'll look at their comments. I'll look at their tag posts to see what other people are saying about them. So I just do a lot of research and I look at all those different factors, and if it looks good to me and it looks safe and reliable, I'll reply if I'm interested. Another thing that helps is that Google, if you have Gmail, so my business email is a Gmail. If it's like a suspicious message, or if it's like kind of like spam, Google will have a humongous red banner above the email saying, warning, this email is suspicious. Do not open any attachments or click on any links. So when I see that, and I get a lot of those, I'll still look at the email just because I'm out of curiosity, like who are these people? But I'll usually delete it or ignore it. Someone said, is having a manager essential? That's a good question. So I personally do not have a manager. I do everything on my own. I answer emails, I talk to all these brands, I, you know, work through contracts together, I read all their contracts. And yeah, I just manage everything on my own, and you know, it's fine for me right now, and I just know that I can manage everything on my own. Like, I'm totally fine with doing that. And I do think maybe one day, if I grow bigger, if my channel grows bigger, that I may need a manager one day. But for now, I like to do everything on my own. I'm a very hands-on person, and like I said, it helps that I have all this marketing experience and I have experience with clients too. I'm good with managing myself. Maybe in the future I can get a manager, but I don't think it's essential. How to edit: the equipment I use for beginners, filming equipment, and also programs I use. Okay, so I'll start with how I edit and programs I use. And again, I think I can do a separate video on how I edit because it's a really long thing, but just to mention the basics. The program I use to edit is Final Cut Pro. It does cost $300, so very pricey. A free alternative is iMovie. I've used both before. I started off with iMovie, and then a few months into having my channel, I got Final Cut Pro. And my preference is Final Cut Pro. It gives you a lot more room to edit your video, to customize it, to add different edits and features and just really cool things. So I like having more room to be creative with Final Cut. And personally, like, using both, I find that Final Cut is easier to navigate and easier to like edit. I was actually having trouble using iMovie after I've used Final Cut, even though iMovie is a more basic version. I don't know why, I just like had difficulty editing on iMovie. Both are good, and I'll insert a clip of each. You can see the differences of each, and Final Cut has definitely a lot more like buttons and things, and it's honestly so confusing. It took me so many months to get comfortable using it, and it just takes practice. It takes, you know, using it for a few months to finally get used to it. I also just looked up different tutorials. If I had a question about how to add a certain effect, I will Google it, I'll watch a YouTube tutorial, and I'll just teach myself how to do it. So it comes with a lot of research, a lot of practice, but you'll get the hang of it. I use Photoshop to create my thumbnails, and I used to also use Canva in the beginning because I love Canva so much. You can create so much on Canva, so many graphics, so many like templates are available for there. It's so easy to customize. But with Photoshop, I'm becoming more comfortable with it, and like it's the same thing with Final Cut. Like, it takes time to learn it, to learn all the different features. It's very confusing at first, but after a while you'll get used to it, and I just really love it because I love the different fonts on there. I love how you can arrange photos, and it works good for me. For equipment, especially for beginners, I pretty much have the same equipment and have been using the same equipment for the past 2 years since I started. The only thing is that I bought a new camera about a few months ago. In terms of camera, I use the Canon G7X. That's the one I'm filming on right now. This is mainly my vlogging camera because it's really nice and small. It's good for traveling and like carrying around with you anywhere. My other camera I use is the Canon M50. It's a bigger camera, it has a little bit of a bigger body, and it comes with a lens. So I actually bought the creator kit. It was like, I think $600 on Amazon is what I paid for it, but it comes with the body, it comes with the lens. It's a very basic lens. You can buy other lenses and attach it to the camera. It also comes with the mic, so it comes with a Rode mic. Rode is like the best brand out there for mics for your camera. It also came with an SD card, memory card. So yeah, those are the cameras that I use. I'll link those below. And then other stuff you need are tripods. So I have 2 tripods that I use, and they're both from Amazon. This one I have here is like my smaller one. So this one is good for vlogging. The other one I have is on my camera right now. I've had these both for 2 years, and they've held up pretty well. And then next is lighting. So right now I have pretty much natural lighting, which is what I recommend for filming. But when I used to go into the office every day, I didn't have time to film except at night after I got home from work. So I had no choice but to film at night. So having a ring light is so essential. So I got mine from Amazon. It's just one of those circle ring lights. It's actually on right now because I use it to illuminate this side, because this side is dark. That's like my hallway. So I have the ring light on, not for me, but for like to make the other side of the room look brighter. And the last essential equipment that is very important and that you can use is your phone. So I always vlog on my phone, and there are so many times when I forget my camera at home, or I just don't want to bring my camera with me because it is kind of bulky. I'll just vlog on my phone. And I think that's it. But in my 50K video, I went more into detail. How do you deal with hate comments on social media? So I'm really lucky that about 98% of my comments are positive and very nice comments, and the other 2% are negative comments. So for the most part, I get very nice comments. My subscribers are so sweet. You guys are so kind. Like, it really blows my mind that you guys are so nice, and sometimes it just makes me so happy how nice you guys are. So I really appreciate all of you that leave those positive comments. I read all of my comments, and I try to reply to as many as I can. But anyway, for the negative comments, so for the most part, I ignore them. I just keep in my mind that there's always going to be people out there that do not like me. There's always something negative to say about everything. Like, you guys see social media and all those negative things. So that's just the culture we live in, and I've accepted that. So when you're out there putting your personal life online constantly, you know, there's always going to be negative comments. So I'm fine with that because I know it's common, and I don't take any of them personally because, like, that's just how life is. Like, you're gonna receive negativity when you put your life online. What do you use to edit your videos and intros? Oh, so my intro. I get a lot of questions about my intro. So I actually downloaded my intro from a website called Video Hive. It has a lot of different templates you can use for your intro, for your outro. You know how people have like the pop-ups in their video, like the subscribe to me or like the social media handles. You can download those from Video Hive also. So that's a good website to check out if you want to download different effects. I also use the website Fiverr, Fiverr. I hired someone to create the banner of my channel. That website is full of so many contractors, freelancers that do graphic design and creative things like video banners, social media things, intros, outros. You can find all of that on there. So I found someone to create my channel banner, and yeah, it costs like $15 to create it. How to get paid on YouTube. There's 3 streams of revenue you can get from having a YouTube channel. The first main one, at least for me, is through revenue on YouTube and Google ads. So the ads that pop up in the beginning of a video, in between, and then at the end of a video, that's through Google ads. The more views you get, the more you'll get paid. It actually does not matter how many subscribers you have. You could have 10 subscribers or you could have 1 million subscribers. It does not matter. It matters how many views you get. The second way to get paid is through sponsorships, and I talked about that already, but yeah, sponsorships is another big stream of revenue. And then the last one is through affiliate links. So those are the links that I share in my description or like on my Instagram story. Every time someone makes a purchase through those affiliate links, I get a small commission. It ranges from different percentages. I could make like 50 cents on a link, or I could make up to like $3 on a link. It really ranges. It's not that much for a link, but it's just like the more people purchase, you know, it stacks up. So the 2 different platforms I use for those affiliate links are Magic Links and Reward Style. There's also Shop Collective, which is another big one, but I use those 2. Reward Style I just started using very recently, so I haven't got paid from them yet. I believe you get paid on a bi-weekly basis every 2 Fridays, and you have to meet a certain threshold. You have to meet $100 minimum. If you make that much, then you can get cash out. And then for Magic Links, you get paid the first of every month, and the minimum cash out is $50 you have to make, and then you can get cash out and it goes straight into your PayPal account. So yeah, those are the 3 main ways to get paid from YouTube. How to promote your videos. So I promote my videos on all of my social media channels. I promote to them a lot on my Instagram stories, and then sometimes when I post a video, I'll post a feed post, something related to that video, and then I'll mention in the caption to go check out that video. It's up now, blah, blah, blah. Just like let everyone know that it's up. In my Instagram bio, the link that's linked in my account is a link tree, an app where you can link as many links as you want. So instead of just having that one link in your bio, you can link several things. So yeah, I always say, you know, check out my bio, check out the link in my bio to go check out my new video. Someone asked, is it worth starting a YouTube channel now? I think definitely yes. I think it's never too late. I mean, I started mine 2 years ago in 2018, and back then I thought it was too late, but I don't think it's ever too late. I know for a long time I really was hesitant because I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many big YouTubers out there. There's people with millions of subscribers that have been doing it for so long. Like, why would people watch me when there's more experienced people out there? So there are different levels of influencers, you can call them, or content creators if you want to call them. I prefer the term content creator, but there are different tiers, and I had to look it up so I say the right thing. But basically, anyone can start a channel, anyone can be a content creator, anyone can be an influencer. It's open up to everyone. YouTube is free, it's a free platform, anyone can post anything they want, and people can be subscribed to anyone they want. There's no limit to how many accounts you could be subscribed to. You can be subscribed to 1,000 accounts. If you make a channel now, just because they're subscribed to other people doesn't mean they can't subscribe to you. So anyway, nano influencers are people with 1,000 to 10,000 followers. Micro influencers are 10 to 50,000 followers. Mid-tier influencers are 50 to 500k followers. So I'm going to stop there because the point of me reading that is I read an article saying that brands are targeting micro influencers. They prefer to work with micro influencers rather than with macro influencers that are a million people and more, because they know that micro influencers will be honest. They want to target these smaller groups because they know that they might have more reach with, you know, different audiences and more, you know, relatable content. Micro influencers are more willing to work with smaller brands. So especially if a brand is smaller, they'll want to work with micro influencers. I even feel like 2020 is a better time than ever to start a channel because of the whole pandemic. You know, everyone's at home. People have more time to watch TV, movies, YouTube. I even saw my channel grow during quarantine when it first happened in spring of this year. I saw my views grow. I saw my subscribers grow. So this is a really good time because people have time now. When do brands start recognizing you and sending PR packages / products to try out? So I think brands started recognizing me around maybe around the 20k mark. I think that's when I started getting a good amount of emails. For PR packages, I didn't really get those until a little bit later. I think maybe around 50k is when I started getting them. So I actually do a lot of sponsorships also that are unpaid. I only do that if I really like the product and I really want to try it out, and also if I think it's beneficial for my viewers and I really want to share it with you guys. Is uploading once a week enough? So yeah, if you're busy, like if you have a full-time job, uploading once a week is just fine. I remember there was a time when I was only uploading once a week for like a year because I was so busy with work and I just did not have time to film and edit, because filming, editing, and posting a video honestly takes like 5 hours. It takes like a whole work day to do that because it's just a lot of work to film. Editing takes the longest, especially when you're picky. I'm very picky when I edit. I'm very detailed. I like to watch the video 800 times before I upload it. So yeah, it takes a long time to do all that. But like I said, as busy as you are, it's very important to stay consistent. So that's why I made it a goal to upload at least once per week. Are there any personal insecurities related to starting a YouTube channel, especially in the beginning? So yeah, I definitely had my insecurities when I started my channel. I really doubted myself and my ability and my channel. I was like, there's no way people are gonna watch me. Like, no one knows who I am. I barely had a following on Instagram, and you know, I just thought no one would, like, why would people want to watch me? There's so many other nicer channels out there. And I realized from the beginning, I definitely cannot compare myself to other channels out there. That's the worst thing you can do, is to compare yourself. So that's a tip for beginners and smaller channels. Do not compare yourself to other channels, because that's just going to create a cloud of doubt and insecurities. But yeah, I definitely had those insecurities, and I just told myself, you know, this is something I really want to do. It's something I want to pursue, and I'm going to just have to push those insecurities aside and just be confident in myself and confident in the content I'm putting out. And it was just a lot of like mental, like, talking to myself preparation. So you gotta just like be kind to yourself. You know, you are a human being too, and you know, pretend you are just a friend. Pretend a friend is coming to you. What would you say to your friend? Say that to yourself. Tips to stand out since the platform is oversaturated, and how to be recognizable and different. It's really hard to stand out, I know, because there's so many types of channels, like the one you want to pursue. Like my channel, there's literally thousands of channels like this out there, and I think just to help yourself stand out is to just be yourself, be relatable. Don't try to fake it in front of a camera. And like I said in the beginning, you know, the thumbnail, the title, and the keywords of your video are so important. So that's probably the best way to stand out, is having good thumbnails. And if that means, you know, taking a graphic design course, there's some free ones online, or, you know, just like practicing a lot, making, you know, upping up your game in that way, which I definitely did. I really tried to study as much as I could and research as much as I could. And honestly, just being consistent, because the more you post, the more likely it is someone will find your channel. And also try to post a really good variety of content, because you know, maybe one video won't do well and isn't that interesting to people, but maybe this topic is very interesting to people. So you just gotta play around and see what topics are interesting. That's kind of what I did. I can't remember if I answered this question, but somebody asked, I have been wanting to start a YouTube channel, but I am a bit embarrassed about friends and family watching / finding out about my channel. How do I overcome that? Did you overcome that yourself? Tips for confidence. So in the very beginning, I didn't really tell many people that I had a channel. I mentioned it to my family, but I didn't like show them my channel. I just told them like, hey, I'm vlogging for YouTube, and they're like, okay. They didn't really know much about it. It was like the same thing with my friends. Like, they knew about it, but I don't think they watched my videos. I didn't really tell many people. I was very nervous in the beginning because I didn't want people to be like, oh, she's trying to be like a YouTuber, like, who does she think she is? Like, she thinks she could do all, like, I was really afraid of those judgments, but I think in the end, I just didn't care. That's plain and simple. Like, that's my answer to that question. It might not be a helpful answer, but I'm at the age where I don't care what people think about me. I'm tired, and you know, these people aren't paying my bills, so I don't care. And you know, it might be different if you're in high school and you have to see these people in person every day. It's definitely very tough. So my advice is to do what makes you happy and to not let anyone stand in your way. And if you are in high school or in college, you're not gonna see these people in like 5 years. I'm gonna be very honest. I don't see anyone that I went to high school and college with, maybe like 2 or 3 people. In a later time in your life, it's not gonna matter. It's gonna matter what you do and what makes you happy. So think about your future and what you want and what makes you happy. And if people are judging you and making fun of you, then just say peace to them. You gotta start eliminating these unsupportive people in your life, as hard as that may sound. It's easy to say, but it's hard to do. So that might not be the best advice, but that's kind of what worked for me. And then after a few months, my hard work paid off and people saw that, and they were like, okay, like she's actually doing it. So the beginning might be rough, and you know, it might be super uncomfortable, which it was for me, but I just pushed through it and I didn't care about the judgment. Another thing is, if you don't want to post it on your Instagram, is to create a whole separate profile, like a new Instagram dedicated to your brand. You can promote that account on your personal account. Having those 2 different accounts, that 2 different separation, is a good idea too. And now at this point, every person knows about my channel. My job knows about my channel, my family, everyone like watches my videos, and it's very public now. As a 27-year-old, what I would tell my 19-year-old self, because I was very insecure when I was 19, very scared of everything, I would tell myself that you're not going to feel this way in 2, even 3 years. You are going to be more confident. You're going to realize what matters in your life. You're going to realize what makes you happy. So I think those are the main questions that I answered. I believe I'm going to end this video here. I've talked for a long time. My timer on my camera says I've been talking for an hour and 20 minutes. So I'm going to end this video here, and I apologize if I didn't hit on any of the questions that you asked. If there's something that I didn't answer and you want me to answer, please leave that in the comments. I'll elaborate there more. I read all the comments and I'll respond to all of them. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm sorry for talking so much, and I'm sorry for jumping all over the place. I was all over the place. I feel like I should have prepared more for this video. But anyway, I hope you guys got something out of this and found this somewhat beneficial. So thank you so much for watching. And like I mentioned, all the things that I mentioned, all my equipment, all of the programs that I mentioned, the websites that I mentioned, everything, I will link in the description. If I left anything out, please let me know. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all in my next video.